Meredith Brooks, The Complicated Journey to Stardom. In 1997, one song dominated radio airwaves and MTV, capturing the complexity of being a woman with brutal honesty. I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother. These words launched Meredith Brooks from obscurity to international stardom almost overnight. But her path to fame was anything but simple, and the story behind that iconic hit reveals a musician who had been grinding for over a decade before the world finally listened. What's up, everyone? Today we're diving deep into the rise of Meredith Brooks, the singer-songwriter who gave us one of the most memorable anthems of the 90s. From her punk rock beginnings to mainstream success, this is a story of persistence, reinvention, and finding your voice in an industry that wasn't always ready to hear it. Early life and musical beginnings. Meredith Ann Brooks was born on June 12, 1958, in Oregon City, Oregon, but grew up in Corvallis. Music wasn't just a hobby for Brooks, it was practically in her DNA. She started playing guitar at age 10 and was writing songs by her teens, drawn to the raw energy of rock and the storytelling power of folk music. But here's where Brooks's story gets interesting. While many successful artists have that moment where they decide to pursue music professionally, Brooks was already living it by her early 20s. She wasn't waiting for permission or the perfect moment. She was actively building her craft in the Pacific Northwest music scene. In the early 1980s, Brooks formed her first serious band, The Graces, with Charlotte Caffey from the Go-Go's and Gia Chambori. This wasn't just any side project. The Graces had real potential. They released an album called Perfect View in 1989, which showcased Brooks' songwriting abilities and her knack for crafting memorable hooks. The album had critical acclaim, but didn't achieve commercial breakthrough that Brooks was hoping for. The experience with the Graces taught Brooks valuable lessons about the music industry. She learned about collaboration, the recording process, and perhaps most importantly, she discovered that her voice, both literally and figuratively, was something special that deserved to be heard. The long road to solo success. After the Graces disbanded, Brooks faced what many musicians know all too well: the long, uncertain journey of trying to make it as a solo artist. The late 80s and early 90s were a challenging time for female singer-songwriters who didn't fit neatly into existing categories. Brooks had rock sensibilities, but also folk influences. She could write catchy pop hooks, but wasn't afraid to tackle complex emotional territory. For several years, Brooks performed in clubs, coffee houses, and small venues throughout California. She was building a following, but it was slow going. The music industry was going through major changes. Grunge was exploding, alternative rock was becoming mainstream, and there was a growing appetite for authentic, personal music. Brooks had all of these qualities, but timing in the music business is everything. During this period, Brooks continued writing and refining her sound. She wasn't just waiting for her big break, she was actively creating it. Her songwriting became more personal, more direct. She started exploring themes of female empowerment, complicated relationships, and the contradictions inherent in being human. These weren't typical pop radio topics, but Brooks had a gift for making complex emotions accessible through music. The turning point came when Brooks connected with producer David Ricketts, who had worked with artists like T-Bone Burnett and Tori Amos. Ricketts understood Brooks's vision and helped her craft a sound that honored her rock roots while making her accessible to mainstream radio. This partnership would prove crucial to her eventual breakthrough. The breakthrough moment. In 1997, everything changed. Brooks released Blurring the Edges, her debut solo album, and the lead single Bitch became an immediate sensation. But here's what most people don't know. That song almost didn't happen. Bitch was written during a particularly introspective period in Brooks' life. She was examining the different facets of her personality and how society often expects women to be one-dimensional. The song wasn't meant to be provocative for provocation's sake. It was an honest exploration of female complexity. Brooks later explained that the song was about embracing all aspects of yourself, even the parts that make others uncomfortable. The record label was initially nervous about the song. The word bitch wasn't commonly used in mainstream radio hits, and there were concerns about airplay. But Brooks stood her ground. She knew the song was special, and she refused to compromise her artistic vision. When Bitch hit the airwaves, the response was immediate and overwhelming. The song resonated with women who felt seen and understood, perhaps for the first time, in a pop song. It climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a global hit, reaching the top 10 in multiple countries. The accompanying music video, which featured Brooks in various scenarios representing different aspects of femininity, became an MTV staple. But Bitch wasn't just successful, it was culturally significant. It arrived at a time when female empowerment was becoming more mainstream, coinciding with the rise of artists like Alanis Morissette and Fiona Apple. Brooks had tapped into something that was already in the cultural zeitgeist, but she articulated it in a way that felt fresh and authentic. Mainstream success and challenges. The success of Bitch transformed Brooks' career overnight. Suddenly, she was performing on major television shows, touring internationally, and working with A-list producers and musicians. Blurring the Edges went on to sell over 2 million copies worldwide, establishing Brooks as a major force in 90s alternative rock. The album spawned several other successful singles, including I Need and What Would Happen, which showcased Brooks's range as both a songwriter and performer. These songs proved that Bitch wasn't a fluke. Brooks had the talent and vision to sustain a major career. However, success brought its own challenges. Brooks found herself in the position that many breakthrough artists face. How do you follow up a massive hit without repeating yourself? The music industry and fans had expectations, and there was pressure to deliver another Bitch. Brooks was also navigating the complexities of sudden fame. She had spent over a decade working toward this moment, but the reality of mainstream success was different from what she had imagined. There were more people involved in every decision, more opinions about her music and image, and less control over her own narrative. Despite these challenges, Brooks remained focused on her artistry. She continued touring extensively, building a dedicated fan base that appreciated her beyond just the hit single. Her live performances were particularly powerful, showcasing her guitar skills and the emotional depth of her songwriting. Artistic evolution and later work. Following the success of Blurring the Edges, Brooks faced the sophomore album challenge. Her follow-up, Deconstruction, 1999, showed artistic growth, but didn't achieve the same commercial success as her debut. This is actually a common trajectory for many artists. The first album benefits from years of accumulated songs and experiences, while the second album is often created under pressure and within tighter time frames. Brooks didn't let commercial expectations limit her artistic exploration. She continued writing personal, introspective songs that dealt with relationships, personal growth, and the challenges of navigating the music industry. Her subsequent albums, including Bad Bad 1, 2002, and The Dreaming Field, 2011, showcased her evolution as a songwriter and her willingness to experiment with different sounds and themes. Throughout her career, Brooks has remained committed to authentic songwriting. She's never tried to recreate Bitch or chase trends. Instead, she's focused on creating music that reflects her experiences and perspectives, even when that meant accepting smaller commercial success. Brooks has also been an advocate for other female musicians, understanding firsthand the challenges women face in the music industry. She's spoken openly about ageism, sexism, and the pressure on female artists to maintain a certain image or sound. Legacy and impact. Today, nearly 3 decades after her breakthrough, Meredith Brooks' impact on popular music is undeniable. Bitch remains a cultural touchstone, regularly appearing on lists of the greatest songs of the 90s and continuing to resonate with new generations of listeners. But Brooks's legacy extends beyond just one hit song. She paved the way for female artists to be more direct and honest in their songwriting, particularly about topics that were previously considered taboo or inappropriate for mainstream radio. Her success helped create space for the confessional singer-songwriter movement that would dominate the late 90s and early 2000s. Brooks proved that authenticity could be commercially successful, that audiences were hungry for real, unfiltered perspectives from female artists. This lesson has influenced countless musicians who came after her. Conclusion. Meredith Brooks' rise to fame wasn't an overnight success story. It was the result of years of dedication, artistic development, and staying true to her vision even when others doubted it. Her journey reminds us that breakthrough moments often come after long periods of preparation and persistence. Bitch may have made her famous, but Brooks' real achievement was creating music that spoke honestly about the female experience at a time when such honesty was rare in popular music. She didn't just have a hit song, she started a conversation that continues today. What do you think of Meredith Brooks' impact on 90s music? Did Bitch resonate with you, or do you prefer her deeper cuts? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about the artists who shaped the soundtrack of our lives. Until next time, keep listening.